Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ or on Ravelry as Mamamadevm. As I like to say, you are all very welcome here. So if you've stumbled upon me, this is a cross-stitching channel, but I do this week have, of course, some knitting, and I also have some book recommendations, which I'm going to be going into at the very end of the video. So if that stuff does not interest you, then no need, it'll be at the very end. So this week I have actually quite a lot to share. I kind of had filmed a few Flosstube extras and didn't quite realize how much stuff I had accumulating, and so I was like, okay, it's time. So I'm gonna head into actually the opposite of what I usually do. I'm gonna actually start with my whips this week. Usually I start with my starts, but I'm gonna go with my whips first, just to switch things up, why not? So this week I worked on the Prairie Schooler Trick or Treat. You guys know this is one of my favorites. I love the Prairie Schooler patterns in general. I just think they're super cute. And I particularly love this one because I love the little witch and the cat and the little children at the bottom. I just really like that. I think it's super cute. So I didn't do a ton of progress on this one. I am using the called for DMCs as well as the called for Witchelt's lamb's wool fabric. It's a 32 count, 2/2. And I have a Mad for Minders needle minder on here, and here is my progress. So I am really happy with this. I didn't do all that much, honestly. I just had one of my 15-minute breaks at work and decided I was gonna work on this a little bit. I completed the witch's hat, the little girl's face, and then this other child over here, I finished the dress. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a boy or a girl, but it's super cute. And then if you guys might notice, there is a mushroom that's supposed to be in the middle. I just thought it looked like the cat was, I thought it looked like a pile of poo, okay? So I omitted that, but I love this. I think it's so cute. Yeah, I really like it. I'm happy with this. And like I've said in my previous videos, or if you watched my kit parade or my whip parade, it was my whip parade because I had this one started already. The one thing about this fabric is it is very, like, it's not necessarily thick, but it's quite papery, quite dense. And I find that the weave, for being a 32 count, is awfully tight. So the 2/2 stitches, it is definitely hard to get a needle through, especially when they're condensed. Like, this is the start of the tree on the side of the pattern, and I felt like it was so dense. But I do really like the effect of full coverage stitches, so I can't complain. And then I love this, the back stitching and everything. And then there's a little back stitched spider. Yeah, I just think that's so cute. Bear with me if my voice is like super deep today. I am still kind of battling getting sick. My daughter, she keeps getting sick every time we bring her to kids club at the gym. And every time she comes home, I'm usually the one who does a lot of her caregiving, and so that ends up making me sick. So it's unfortunate, but it's part of life as a mom. So, you know, what are you gonna do? And here's the called for DMCs, just in case you're interested. And I have these on little floss drops that I decided to start labeling my floss drops, and I did this from the beginning, but I saw some comments saying that, well, you could label them the symbol, but then I thought, like, well, how would you repurpose the floss drop? Someone had commented that as well, like, well, how do you repurpose a floss drop after you've written a symbol on there? Doesn't it make more sense to just put the DMC number? And someone actually responded and said that they actually put those stickers on, and they're able to just peel the stickers off. But yeah, I just mark mine with the numbers. I think it's fine. And you can see how strong this floss drop is because it's literally holding, like, what is this, like 6 or 5 skeins of DMC right here. So the Mad for Minders needle minders are definitely my favorite. I don't know if I'm gonna pull this one out again particularly. I just kind of randomly felt like working on it, and it was like an easy project that I had out on my stitching seat. I have a love seat that I actually use as my stitching chair, so I take up like the entire love seat by myself. My husband sits on the couch and I sit on the love seat. Mira does try to sometimes take over my space, but not all the time. The next whip that I worked on is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Again, if you watched my previous Flosstube extras, you already saw my progress on this one, but I'm pretty happy with it, and I know that not everyone watches extras, so I wanted to include it. So this is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, in case you haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it at this point. I think I was like the last person in the world to start this project. I just really love it. And with this one, I actually did change quite a bit of things. I'm stitching it 2/2 with the DMCs. These are like called for DMCs because it does give you the conversion. I am using Flossaway bags. These are like the Hobby Lobby brand. But I am, as I use a color, I'm actually swapping them over to floss drops because I really don't like these bags. I just think that with so many, it kind of looks messy and they kind of look like dingy, and I don't know, something about it is like not working for me. And it could just be because I brought this so many places with me. Obviously this is a crazy piece to bring with you, but I didn't know any better when I was first started cross stitching. I just kind of brought whatever with me. And I'm stitching this on 32 count doubloon crystal linen. So I accidentally purchased this piece of fabric, you know, that happens. And I restarted my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow on this piece, and I am only stitching the cubes that have verbiage. So any cube that has part of the quote, I'm stitching that, and I am going to be recharting this little guy here to have the words that are on the mermaid one. I do really like this mermaid cube. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that in my opinion, with the piece itself, it doesn't blend. Like, it's not super Halloween for me, just like what my decorations are in my house and everything. So I decided I'm gonna move it to the scarecrow guy and just rechart the little tiny words up there because that'll be super easy to do. So I'm gonna do that. And enough of my blibber blabber, here is my piece. So I barely had any of this done, honestly. I don't even have a good picture of it. I just kind of decided to, or apparently I decided to delete the photo that I had of it, but I did get a lot of the house done. I started on the second peak of the roof. I got all the words done, which made me realize I love stitching words because it's so fast. I got the moon done in the right color. If you guys remember, I've stitched that moon so many times, but I really love it. It just looks awesome. And I really like this linen. When I purchased it, I mean, I'm always happy to have extra fabric in my stash, so that was no big deal. And I'm kind of one of those people that's like, oh, the money's gone, no big deal. Comes and goes, right? Well, with this one, I was like thinking about returning it even because I don't like sparkly things. It's just not my favorite. It doesn't really match my aesthetic even for things in my home. So I didn't really see where I would fit this in. And then I had posted on my Instagram, what should I stitch on this? Like, you know, what should I do? Because I didn't know the return policy for 1-2-3 stitch. And one of my friends, she actually was like, oh, you should stitch a Christmas piece on that. And although that would be super cute, I happened to just realize to myself, like, you know, I really don't, I was so unhappy with that, that 40 count vintage country mocha. I think I just am not, I don't know. I like the fabric, but it's not my absolute favorite kind of thing. So I realized I could stitch it on this. And I'm really happy with the choice. So yeah, it's going well. I like it a lot. Again, a Mad for Minders needle minder. So that one's really fun, and I have them all in my Amazon bags. I did link my Amazon bags in my last video. I updated the down bar and put those in there. So if you're curious, give them a look. But also, I know that these are like, I'm pretty sure version B. So if you just go on Amazon and you look up cross-stitching bags, you'll see a bag that looks just like this. And it's 11 by 17, but it is, what is it? But they're colorful. There's a bunch of colorful ones. But if you click on that ad, and then you have options to change to black and white. I don't know why it shows black and white. I'm really boring, okay? That's why. I can tell you, that is exactly why. My next cross-stitching whip, and this is a new item as well. So if you watched my last video, you already saw this. But I went to the store and I picked up some of this fabric, and I followed a, I think it's Amy Sews things, or just, you know, honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head. Alexis had given me the recommendation for how to make the bags, and it really was so easy to follow. I did line it with some bees, like honey bee print. But yeah, it turned out so cute. I'm super happy with this. And I've never installed a zipper in my life. And like, come on, come on. I feel very proud of myself. So this one is actually a complete restart for me. I really love Prairie Schooler, so I decided to restart the Prairie Schooler Prairie Seasons. And I'm starting with spring because I usually don't love spring colors and just spring themed things. It's not my favorite. I'm using the called for DMCs, and these are the DMCs for the entire project. So it's quite a bit more than what I'm using for my upper portion here. This is being stitched on a 28 count wheat Lugana. I do really like the fabric. I don't think I'm gonna purchase any more Luganas though. I just don't think they're my favorite. And if I do, I'll probably go with a 32 or a 36, not a 28. So here is my restart. So like I said, I completely restarted this one. She was almost complete for the house, and I did have all of the birds and everything done up there, but I don't know, I just didn't like it. And I decided I wanted to redo the colors. So I looked at the charts and I looked across all of the charts, so all 4 of the seasons, and I realized that this pink that's in the middle here is only used like in these tiny flowers. And I thought, you know what? This is spring. I want it to be very spring in your face, like Martha Stewart just threw up in your house. And I decided to go ahead and just stitch the house pink. So I did that. I changed the border of it so it's kind of encased, almost like a gazebo style. And I decided to use the DMC gray that's called for, I don't remember the color name or color number off the top of my head. And then I also changed the shape of the pot down here. For some reason, I just wanted it to be like longer rather than fatter. So I stitched it 1 stitch longer, and then that ended up being where I took off 1 row of the stem. And I am really happy with that. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's super cute. So that is my restart. And I did all of that in like one evening. So I think I sat down when my husband was watching TV. He watches a lot more like shows than I do, and so he'll wear like his Bose, like, what is it, cordless headset, and he'll watch TV, so it'll be pretty quiet in the house, just Mira and I, because he has pretty bad hearing because he's been in construction most of his life, and he just listens in his Bose, and they connect to the TV because we have a smart TV, and so he does that, and then I just stitch away and hang out with Mira, so it actually works out really good for us. So yeah, he watches the shows and I cross stitch. My next whip is my Jardin Prive Lady Halloween piece. Here is that one. And I am stitching this on a 28 count vintage silky white Zweigart, and I'm actually using just DMC 310. So that was my change, and this is in a Nurge hoop, so that's also a bit different. Since I was working on it, I just left it in the hoop. Hope you guys don't mind. And here is how it's coming along. So I got 2 more letters in. I completed this. I have a couple more of these dots that need to go around this star down here. I always want to call this the Selbu Rose because it's a Norwegian motif. There's a town called Selbu, and it is known for knitting Selbu style mittens, and this motif is very prominent on those, and it's a rose. So I always want to call these roses, but I realize in this pattern it's probably not meant to be a rose, but if you're Norwegian, that makes sense. So I did complete that, and then I got the witch's hat started here. So I actually have the very beginning of the witch. And then this is my Mad for Minder needle minder. I love this needle minder. It's actually my favorite one, but I will say, if you're really close, like stitching here and this minder's right here, if you have a long piece of floss, it can get kind of tangled around her broomstick. So I try to push it like this way and move it out of the way. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it's so cute. I just love it. So that one's really fun. I left it on the hoop because I'm thinking that I am going to work on this a little bit more this month. But I do have a new start for my SAL with Bridget, the museum stitcher, and that kind of made me not want to work on Halloween stuff anymore. So we'll see what happens. So I'm really happy with this. The one thing that I will say is, like, there's some apothecary jars on this shelf here. I think that's the only part where I'm going to have to make some changes. Well, maybe it's just like potion jars, I don't know, but they look like little apothecary jars or whatever, and they're really cute. So I really like the motifs that are like sitting in the water inside of them, and that's making me want to maybe get some black DMC, or sorry, not black, but a gray DMC, so that I can highlight those motifs on the inside, because obviously if I stitch the motif on the inside and then try to stitch water around it, it's all going to be black because I'm using the same color for all that. So that's the only portion where I may change the color. And I may, okay, this is a weird change, but do you see her bust? It is quite far out. I may just bring it in one more stitch. I just think it's like really prominent bust line, and it's kind of unnecessary because her arms are like little tiny twigs, but her bust line is huge. And so I might just alter it a little bit, maybe just be more like my body, I don't know. Because Mama was not blessed in that department, okay? So that might be my one other change. So as I was saying, Bridget and I, we decided to start a SAL. It is called Summer Quakers SAL. So it is the title of the pattern, the Rosewood Manors Summer Quakers. And as you can see, there is an S at the end of Quakers, so there will be 2 S's, so Summer Quakers SAL, S-A-L. And it's a hashtag on Instagram. Her and I are both following it. She is stitching hers on a 28 count coastal, I believe is the colorway, and it's a Picture This Plus fabric. You guys know I love Picture This Plus fabrics. I am using the called for truffle. We are both using the called for Valdani flosses. She did actually put hers on floss drops, and I think I might do the same. Reason being is, much to her knowledge prior to it, she was totally right. So like for instance, this is a tiny little piece that I have left of one of my colors. Well, how am I supposed to save this? I literally just have to like stuff it into the box, or I try to wrap it back around the little bobbins, but they're so small and they're quite silky, so it's really easy to just toss them right around and they slip right off. And it's, if I have these sitting on the couch and my daughter tries to come and sit with me, she's impatient. She's not gonna wait for me to pick up, you know, 12 different colored little tiny balls of yarn. She's just gonna hop right on the couch, and then they go everywhere. So I might make some floss drops for them tonight. It just kind of depends on how much time I have. You guys know the drill. I do this while she naps, and that means I have limited nap time. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make the change. It's just so much simpler. And I do have my DMC 310, but I had a random bit of it that I used on the part. And I do have some scissors in this bag. These are my Ginger scissors, just the gold set. I really do like these. I think I will buy another set of them. They're just nice and pointy, and they're nice and sharp. I'm kind of curious how long they'll last as well. So that is my start, and here is my actual progress. So you guys know the struggle with this one. Truffle does not want to show up as pink as it is on camera. So I use my ring light today hoping that it would give me the best lighting, but it's just gonna go brown the closer I get. So anywho, this is almost complete. I realized last night that I'm missing one of the leaves. I don't remember where, but somewhere in here I'm missing a leaf, so I'm gonna add that. I did get the Algerian eyelets in here, and so funny. They just look very weird to me. I don't know. I saw someone who is doing the SAL with us, and she started down at the bottom where there is the alphabet, and I did not know the alphabet is all Algerian eyelets. Ooh, Lordy, that's gonna take a long time. So she had used the hashtag on Instagram, and since I'm following it, I saw it right away. I believe she tagged me too, but I think I'll mention that in a moment. So anywho, the Algerian eyelets are all over down here, and hers looked so good. Hers looked so good. And I made Alexis and Bridget show me theirs because we have a group chat started, and it was a very great conversation. So yeah, mine looked terrible. I'm hoping I'll get better, but you guys know, I mean, I know I've been stitching. Technically, I've known how to stitch for 6 months, but for like 3 months of that, I actually did not touch my stitching at all. I started my Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. This is my very first cross-stitching project. In 2 weeks, I completed 2 pages, and then I did not stitch for another 2.5 months. So I really am a very new stitcher. And one thing I will say is with the Algerian eyelets, it says like with these that you are supposed to put the needle like starting from the outer corner into the center, and then you go in between your little square and you poke through there. But when I did that, it just kind of disappeared. So I decided to just bring it around, wrap it around both threads of the linen. If you've done an Algerian eyelet, that makes sense to you. If you haven't, I'm talking a bunch of jibber jabber. But yeah, I'm happy with this. This is actually the end of page 1, but I decided to go over this way. I don't know why. So I decided to just go over this way and continue on, mainly because I really want to get to this orange flower here, because I really like that one. And I loved these leaves, so I really wanted to work this way and then go down from there. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I think it'll actually be a pretty quick stitch because it's much smaller than a lot of my other charts that I have going right now. And I have a lot of motivation to finish it because I'm just loving seeing everyone else's, seeing Bridgen's, seeing Alexis, like, you know, seeing everyone that I just adore stitching on a similar thing. And I am loving that. So this one's been super fun. And then let's see, that is actually, I was so good, guys. That was my only start. Congratulations to me. Okay. So I think I'm going to go into knitting next, and then I'll go into acquisitions because I realize that not everyone wants acquisitions. I don't know. I don't really know which is the best way to go about this, but hey, we're still learning. So as you guys know, Alexis of Alexis My Amazing World, I am knitting her a pair of shorty socks. And so here is the first sock, picture complete. So cute, I love it. And I got to the gusset of the second sock. So this is like the part that goes on your heel of your foot. So I'm almost done with the gusset. I only have like 6 more rows of that. And then I will start, or sorry, that's the heel flap. Then I'll start the gusset, which is like this part that goes downward in the sock. So I really like this. They're super cute. This is a Knit Picks Muse yarn, and it is in the colorway Delight Speckle. So I do have another ball of that, and it's super fun. And that's going well. That's what I worked on today. So I didn't get any stitching done today, but I went to the pool with my daughter, so that was more important. I wanted to spend some time with her. My next project that I am super excited about, because I did get what my goal was for last month. I did get, or actually I should say this month because we're still in this month, for June, was to complete the body of my grandma's tribute cardie. And of course I'm knitting mine as a pullover, and I did complete the body. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully you can see it all. I just love it. Sorry, I'm just staring at it. So it's a little weird. So the neckline looks extraordinarily small, and for starters, I want to say my grandma is very small. She is 4'10", so you have to take into account that she's a very, very petite, small woman. But outside of that as well, this is a drop shoulder. So her little tiny shoulders are like in here. So all of this is actually going to be sleeve. It's a drop shoulder, which is a very traditional Norwegian method to knit it from the bottom up, which is what I did. And I am knitting the neckline where I'm going to knit it like a turtleneck, and then I will fold this over on itself and sew it down. I just like that, and it also will match the thickness of the fabric, because the thickness of the fabric is double because it is color work, and you with stranded color work are holding both yarns kind of like in adjacent with each other. So I'll show you my floats, because everyone always loves some good float pouring. Look at that. She is beautiful. Don't mind if there's any ends. I have not blocked this, and I have not woven in any ends. So yeah, there's the inside. It's so fun to see the inside of these hand knit sweaters. I always think that, like, oh, it's so fun. Yeah, I really like it. So I'm just super happy with that. But as you can see, all of this is carried over yarn, which means that me knitting the neckline how I am, it's gonna match the thickness. I did just do, a normal ribbing at the bottom, 1 by 1. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I am using Jamieson & Smith's Shetland Spindrift, I believe is the title of the yarn, kind of a long one. But I'm using the cream colors, not the pure white, but cream. My grandma chose that. And this they actually labeled as burgundy. In my opinion, it's more fuchsia. I don't know. but they call it burgundy. And I ordered this off of the Loopy Ewe, but I will say is that the Loopy Ewe, it was previously owned by a different person, and I don't know if they still have this, like this line of yarn. I did actually look recently, and I believe they still carry Jameson and Smith, but I don't know if they carry the same colors. It could just be out of stock or whatever, but I am really happy with this. I got to my goal, and I have still another week left to finish the neckline, which is what I wanted for this month's worth of stitching. So I'm super excited about this. Don't mind if the neckline looks really small. Just remember, this is all gonna be like sleevage here, so that'll be part of the sleeves. So yeah, I'm super excited. Oh, I love it so much. I'm like, this one I'm actually sad to be giving away, but my grandma is like the most amazing woman ever, so she totally deserves it. And I knit her one of these sweaters every couple of years. So again, if you watch my other videos, I know you guys already saw this, but I just wanted to include it. And I did get a little bit further on the neckline. I added some more ribbing on the neckline. It just makes me so happy. And I can't wait to see her in it. I always thought I would knit her just jackets or like cardigans, so I was really surprised when she told me that she wanted a pullover, and it made me really happy that she does, because it's actually easier for me because I will knit the whole body and then I will actually add steeking stitches for the sleeves. That's these stripes here, and I will actually cut this, and that is how I will join on the sleeves. So I'll either knit the sleeves bottom up and sew them on into here, or I will cut this and pick up stitches and seamlessly knit down so the pattern continues seamlessly, essentially. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Sorry, let me just fold her back up. All right, so that is all my knitting this week. I didn't do anything else. I do really have the itch to start a new sweater, like another colorwork sweater, but it is getting really hot in Washington. It's about like 80 something degrees today, which I know is not hot to everyone, okay? Listen. I know I am a wimp when it comes to hot weather, but it is hot to us, right? And so I've been really enjoying it. It's like perfect weather to go to the pool. So we've been going to the pool a couple days in a row now, and that's been really nice, especially because my daughter is a total water baby. She loves the water. My husband, he's actually from Hawaii, and so he really loves the water. It's like home to him. So that was really enjoyable, and we had a good time. So we've just been enjoying the sunshine, and I don't even remember where I was getting to with that. Yeah, I do. Okay, so it's just way too hot for me to start another colorwork sweater, right? Like someone reach through their screen and just slap me and be like, girlfriend, what are you thinking? Crazy pants. You're gonna be sweating with a huge sweater in your lap. Luckily, where we live is like, it's really cool. So it never gets, well, like the area we live in, it stays cool. So we're lucky with our housing that it's nice and cool in here. I can't complain. So anyway, all that to say, I've really been itching to start a new colorwork sweater, but I don't think I'm going to, at least not until I am hopefully done with my grandma's sweater. Cause I think, this month, the 25th, which is just passed, is exactly 6 months until Christmas. So I have 6 months to knit 2 sleeves. And I can do that, but that means I have to knit through the summer. Pray for me, pray for me. So anywho, if that is all you guys stuck around for was the stitching stuff, then thank you so much. And thank you for commenting and interacting with me, subscribing, liking. I really do appreciate this community and the people I've met. I feel like I've literally just made so many friends so quickly, and you guys are great. So I can't thank you enough. So if that was all and you do not want to stick around for acquisitions, thank you. I will catch you on my next regular Flosstube. If you don't mind acquisitions, then don't mind if I do. So I decided that I just wanted to order some charts and PDFs and stuff. I don't know why, I just kind of randomly did. And so the other day when I was online perusing, I ordered, I'll have to look online and see because I can't remember the name of the designer. This is not actually the chart. I know it kind of looks like it is, but it's stitched on a really large count Aida, so it almost looks like it's the chart, but it's not. So this is a Halloween piece, Halloween with cross stitch pattern, it just is what it says. Lawrence made is what it says on the bottom here. But I just thought that was so cute. Double, double, toil, trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. I actually think, and tell me if I'm crazy, if I stitch this with black on my, what I'm claiming to be right now a UFO, my 32 count Pumpkin King. What do we think? What do we think about that? With black, just pure black, not variegated, not nothing. Maybe 2/2. I mean, I know that's she's gonna be tight, 2/2, but it would be so plump and like legible. I don't know. I'm thinking that might be it. And honestly, I don't even think I would have to unstitch what I've stitched up here. I could probably just use this half. I'm thinking that might be what I'm gonna do. I brought this project over just so I could show you guys. I don't know, let me know, what do you think? And I'm just talking like either anchor black, because I have a bobbin of it, so that'd be enough, and I could just stitch it with one, like you pull off the one thing of anchor. I could do that. That'd be real thick though. I don't know. Or 2 strands of DMC, or I don't know. Just some ideas I was thinking. I don't know. I just thought it was so cute, and it was super cheap. It was only like a few dollars. Let's see here. The Wonderland plus Beyond. Thank you for purchasing your cross stitch pattern. Jennifer Lawrence of To Wonderland plus Beyond. So let's see here. Here is her information. Hopefully you can see that. So it looks like it is To Wonderland and Beyond on Instagram. And you can contact her at contact@2TOWonderlandandbeyond.com. So highly recommend, really clear, easy to read chart, and it's just super simple and cute, and it was only a few bucks, so that is affordable to me, and I really like it. So I think that was super fun. The next thing, let me tell you, I have never in my cross-stitching life kitted up a project so quickly. So I don't know what it is. I'm gonna include a picture of the color photo, so I'll put that here because it's just not gonna do this one justice. This is Happy Halloween in Eiffelbet design by Brian Jackson. He calls them like Eiffel Tower, but Eiffelet, like alphabet, but Eiffelet. I'm completely sure of the reasoning, but it is super cute. And again, I am gonna put a picture of the color version because this is out of this world. I'm in a cross-stitching group. I think it was Cross Stitching Unlimited, and a woman, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because there was a person who posted in there and they had finished this project. Happy Halloween by a gentleman named Brian there. Oh my goodness, it is amazing. And so I went to the craft store like ASAP and purchased the DMCs. And when I tell you that this is a metric crap ton of DMCs, I am not kidding. Oh my lordy. I actually, funny story. So I had picked up this and I saw this list and thought, okay, that's a decent amount of DMCs. So I went to the store, purchased all these DMCs, and then Kelly, she messaged me and she was like, wow, there's a lot of DMCs. And I was like, oh, I didn't think there was that many. I think that in my head, right? But I didn't want to sound like a dumbass, so I didn't say anything. And anyways, I'm flipping through the pages of the pattern. There's another page. There's another page. So there's 2 pages. Oh my goodness. Shout out to her. She's super, super sweet and amazing. I'm gonna put her Instagram name if you haven't, or if you wanna go give her a follow. She's awesome and her projects are awesome and she has like the most amazing fabric stash ever. So yeah, there is a crazy amount of DMCs. I think I did purchase doubles on accident of some. One of them I realized I have I bought 3 skeins of, because I am an idiot. So often like patterns will repeat what is on the list, just saying like you're gonna hold this one and this one double because there's a few blends in here, and I just end up grabbing a whole nother skein because I've already forgotten that I grabbed it when it was listed as a single. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. So I had posted on my Instagram stories though, asking, you know, if I should use Picture This Plus Fog or Picture This Plus and a 32 count Wren. And all of our cross-stitching mothers, the mother of my cross-stitching world, Rolodex Stitches, Oh my goodness. So I actually followed her before I was even a cross stitcher because she is freaking hilarious. I just love her. She's like the most amazing human, right? And just creates this fun and enjoyable space for us all. And I love that. Well, anyways, Mom said to use Ren, so I'm using it. I'm so sorry to her if she does not want me to call her that, but I literally, like, you know when you're like, well, Mom said so. Well, that was me, because she messaged me and was like, use Ren. And I was like, yes, ma'am. She's totally right, though. Ren is beautiful. It's the perfect neutral. And I think with all the crazy colors, everything will pop on this. There's like one color that you do not use a lot. And that is the only one that is slightly close to the color of the fabric. But it's amazing. And so I'm doing what she said, and I'm stitching it on Ren. It would look really good on fog though, but there is a lot of white. There's a lot of white in it, and then I didn't really think about that because I'd only had half of the DMCs, so I didn't know that there was gonna be so much white, even though I could have just looked at the freaking color picture. But you know, we've established I'm not the smartest. So I did purchase that. And if you guys know, I think I mentioned it. I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I'm actually planning to stitch Mother's Tree. I recently started watching Just Keep Stitching with Pam and Stephanie, and I started at the very beginning of watching their episodes, so all the way back to episode 1, and I'm in like episode 40s. I'm almost into the 50s, but I do keep up with their current episodes as well. They're awesome. They're super funny together, and I would love to go to StitchCon. I'm like such a new stitcher. I thought that might be overwhelming, so I didn't go this year. But maybe next year. Catch me there, right? Hold me to it, ladies and gents and thems and theys. Hold me to it, okay? I think it'd just be so fun to meet a bunch more stitchy people. Well, anywho, Pam, she actually was stitching on a project that is called A Mother's Tree. And my grandma, she does a lot of genealogy for my family, so I knew that she would know the names of the maternal line in my family. And we were able to go back, I think, 14 generations or something like that. No, I think less than that. Maybe 12 or something like that. So anywho, I have a very, very long list of mothers. I'm going to include a picture as well. I'm Norwegian, and so I often forget, being the American-born Norwegians, how absolutely Norwegian we are. And I just kind of thought it was not funny, because these names are actually beautiful in my personal opinion, but I really loved seeing the names of the women in my family. This is, again, my maternal line, so I thought you guys might get a kick out of that genealogy. I just really loved that. But I ordered the pattern. It gets here this week, so I'll show it next time. Again, Mother's Tree is what I'm doing. And I ordered from Hollis Hands Creates, which is like the most amazing woman, most amazing customer service. I messaged her and asked, you know, can you cut a fabric like more than just 2? Because they list it like 1, 2, 3, right? And she was like, yeah, just go ahead and put what you wanted. And I needed 3, which is really weird. Instead of it being 2 or instead of it being 4, it's a really funky cut. And I knew that was gonna kind of be a pain in the you know what. And so I thought to myself, okay, if she just sends me the cut of 2 and the cut of 1, that's honestly fine. I'll piece the pieces together. I'm okay with that because I don't want to be a pain. So she actually cut them and left it as this super long cut. Look at that. Are you kidding me? What an angel baby. Can you believe that? Hollis Hands Creates. Wonderful customer service. I literally adore her. This is a really good representation of the color. And again, this is 32 count Nessie, and it's just beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. See? It's super, super long because I have a lot of generations to go on to. And oh, I just cannot wait. So it'll end with, I actually have an older sister and I love my older sister. She has a son though. I am the youngest daughter and I have a daughter. So I'm so sorry, Victoria. I'm skipping over you. And I'm going to myself because it's going to be the maternal line that carries through me because I have a daughter. So it'll be my mother, whose name is Cindy, and then myself, Megan, and my daughter, Mira. And I also think it's going to be so much fun to go from, obviously, me very, very Norwegian, born and raised in Norway. We come from the Hardanger area of Norway, so very Norwegian, to Babauta, which is a Chamorro last name. Chamorro, if you do not know, is people from Guam. So my husband's dad is from Guam. My husband's mom, she is from Hawaii, and my husband is born in Hawaii. So he's an islander. So I think that'll be just so fun to see this transition of names and culture. And you know, I really do, I'm very excited about this project. If you can't tell, it literally like brings goosebumps to me to think about the time I got to spend. It makes me want to cry. Oh my gosh, I need to stop being so emotional, guys. I'm so emotional. It makes me very proud, and it makes me very happy to spend the time with my grandmother, Sue. I got to spend some time with her last weekend before I caught my little cold here, and I picked up all those names from her, and we just chatted about family and carrying on your legacy. For me, it's fiber arts and my cross stitching, my knitting. Obviously, I knit sweaters for her because eventually those will end up coming back to me. Makes me want to cry. Oh, I need to get it together. Take a deep breath. Okay, we're good. So they will come back to me. I know that. She's gonna will them to me in the end. And so when that day comes, you know, that is a passing of a legacy, and those will end up going to my daughter, and so on and so forth. So that's my legacy, and hers is her genealogy. She has genealogy for us back to the 1600s, and my maternal line is all Norwegian back that far. My family didn't come over to the Americas until the 1880s, and they actually came over and they tried to get in on, I believe, Ellis Island, but they were only allowing so many immigrants over at a time. And because of that, my family ended up having to go to Canada, and they stayed in Canada for I think like 6 or 7 years. And then they came over, ended up migrating. So came over, got citizenship, denounced the king and queen, because you have to do that, or you did have to do that to become a citizen. I believe you still do, I'm not quite sure though. And anywho, they denounced their king and queen so that they could become citizens, and they were then American Norwegians, right? And they moved to Idaho, Ohio. I can't quite remember that. I can't remember. I know that it is not too far away from Washington, but anywho, they ended up settling there, and I actually have some snippets of stories that my grandma gave me as well, because some ancestors, so like cousins and stuff, they have written down our family's history and story, and kind of just their recollection of life growing up and being kids in the 1800s, and those were amazing to read. I just love reading those stories because this is my maternal bloodline, and I feel such a connection and strong bond with them when I read their own words. So that was amazing. I really enjoyed that time with my grandma, and I'm sorry I got so carried off in a way. This is a super long video. I apologize. I just really enjoy my family's history. I really enjoy learning about history in general. I follow a lady on here on Flosstube, and she talks a lot about her ancestry, and I just adore her videos as well. I'll have to link her below because I definitely recommend watching. I can't remember off the top of my head. So those are the things I purchased. I do have quite a few other things coming in the mail, but for some reason things have been taking forever to get to me. So anywho, those are my purchases. I am going to segue into books from here because I purchased 2 new books. And then I'm going to go into my books that are existing in my stash. So the 2 new books that I decided to purchase are this one, Letters from Jet. This is a self-published, and I purchased it on Amazon. It was quite affordable for my own pocketbook. It was, I want to say $5-6. This is by Matthew Bella. It is actually letters, so this is kind of gruesome. It is letters between Matthew himself and a convicted serial killer. I like a lot of true crime. You'll see behind me like The Gardner Heist is a true crime book. I've got quite a few others. Even historically, I have a lot of books that are about espionage and murder and such, but what is Tudor history without a good beheading, right? So yeah, I thought that one would be interesting, and it's quite short, as you can see, so that's like a book I could read in a day, so that'd be a good one. And I love some vampire romance, dark romance. This is like my getaway. I obviously read a lot of nonfiction. That's my biggest genre that I read to date, but I was reading or I read on my phone, and usually if I read on my phone, it's like trash romance, okay? Like dark romance. It's terrible. This is so funny. I can't believe I'm putting this out to the world. I tell my sister, because she's a really big reader too, I always tell her, if I die before her, that she needs to like delete my history of books on my iPhone. Oh, there's someone out there who can relate, okay? Relatable content, all right? So anywho, I purchased this next book, and it is called Crave. I am a kid of the Twilight era, right? So I have heard of these books, and I just never took the pinch to go and purchase them, but Amazon actually had these on sale. So this is quite a large book, right? And it was like $11. That's a great deal for a hardback. So I just decided to jump for it. Why not? I do know sometimes you can find these at the grocery store, this book line. So I don't know how, I'm gonna call it steamy. I don't know how steamy these get. I'm kind of assuming it's a young adult, much like Twilight was, which is not much romance at all. But I don't know, I just kind of really like these style of books. So I thought that would be fun. But anywho, I was watching Colorado Girl. Oh my goodness, I always mess up her name, but I'll of course have her name here in a picture of her page. I love her videos. I love her videos, and I love her and everything she stands for. She literally makes this like a safe space, and I adore her for it. She was recently talking about some books that she reads, and she was like talking about the romance books she reads, and I was like, thank you, because it made me feel so much better, because you know, a lot of people don't talk about the romance they read. I don't read it all that much because I don't have very much time, but if I am reading on my phone, it's definitely a romance, and I really love those like cheesy, even like those Victorian romances that are just beautiful and happy, and like it's like a Hallmark video. I love that too. So I read those on my phone, but my actual stash of books in my house is usually nonfiction, so kind of funky. But anywho, her mentioning her books made me realize you should just mention all the books you get, girlfriend. Just do it. So those are my two new acquisitions. I think I'm gonna start reading Crave tonight, so I'll let you guys know how it goes next time I film. And I wanted to add in, for my own personal stash, a couple of books that I would recommend. So in the times we are in right now, with the most recent Supreme Court ruling, I know that that is a controversial topic, but I'm hoping to shed some light on women's places throughout history and the role we played in society. So it doesn't really have to do necessarily with women's rights or necessarily even narrowing into women in religion, but it does in a way. So both of these books have enlightened me as a woman, have brought me power as a woman, have shown me that women weren't always the second-class citizen, right? So although there are so many other social justices, and I will, of course, as we go on throughout my book talks, I will be talking about other things that might make you uncomfortable. I find it very hard to talk about this stuff because I of course don't want to offend anyone, but I love to learn, and I would hope that you all do too, and that you can keep an open mind with these books. So this is the first one. Who Cooked the Last Supper? The Women's History of the World. This book, amazing. So it doesn't actually have to do with the Last Supper. It doesn't actually have to do a heavy influence of religion or anything like that. It really is a women's history. And let me tell you, there's nothing more empowering than understanding and knowing your place, what your ancestors may or may not have done in history. And it's just insane. It's just insane. So I highly recommend this book. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so good. Go get it. Go get it. The next one is When God Was a Woman. And this book, again, amazing book. Something about it, it just truly showed me how much power women used to have, because women used to be goddesses, women used to be gods, there used to be shrines to women, and the power that is women, the power that is the fertility, the menstruation, the power that is us in our bodies and what we can do for our society. And in some ways, whether you see it or not, those things have been denounced and I don't want to say stepped on, but I guess in a sense. So this woman definitely gave me a lot, this book definitely gave me a lot of empowerment for women out there. So if you view yourself and you are a woman, you are a maybe just someone who wants to understand where women are coming from, where our anger is coming from, please give this a read. It is so good. So good. I highly recommend. So hopefully I don't lose too many subscribers for recommending those books. I did want to recommend a couple other more light-hearted books because Becoming Elizabeth came out on Stars. You know I'm gonna watch it. I am actually, although all of my history books are mostly nonfiction, I do love historical fiction. I think it's super fun. You just have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, even Philippa Gregory, her books are like not the storyline at all, you know? But if you go in knowing that, then what's the bother with it? You know, I see so many historians who can't stand her writing. And I guess I see from the perspective of if you're a historian, then you'll rehear the people repeating her storylines as if they're facts, but at least it gets people interested in the subject, and that's the most that you can hope for, I suppose, in my opinion, is to get people interested. So I am definitely going to indulge in Becoming Elizabeth, but I decided because the show came out, I would show you guys some books about Elizabeth. So I have After Elizabeth, The Rise of James of Scotland and the Struggle for the Throne of England. So this is James of Scotland. This is a portrait of Elizabeth I. I don't believe it's a contemporary, but it is beautiful nonetheless. I think Elizabeth was beautiful. The next one I have is Elizabeth's Women. I like this one because I think it's fascinating to hear about the role she played in her women's lives. She seemed to be very controlling and almost jealous of the women around her, and I think that's what makes her so real. Maybe even unlikable in some cases, honestly. Like, truly unlikable in some instances, but so very fascinating and real as a woman. You know, just the drama that ensued her life, and I just liked it. The Pirate Queen, Elizabeth I, Her Pirate Adventures and the Dawn of an Empire. I really recommend this one. Again, another contemporary painting as the cover of the album. This is a really good one because obviously she had a large fleet and she did allow her ships to, honestly, it's like legal, quote unquote, pirates, because she would allow them to steal gold from other ships as long as she got her cut. She didn't care. So again, didn't say she was likable, but very fascinating. So those are my few recommendations for Elizabeth books. Of course, I have plenty of more, but I'm gonna save those for another episode as we are getting into a very long episode for the Seattle Stitcher, and this mama, she ain't got much nap time left, so it's time for me to go. So thank you so very much if you all have stuck around with me. I do want to say a very special shout out. Melanie is one of my subscribers. Please tell me if I'm saying your name wrong. I do apologize if I am. I just want to say that I'm still thinking about you. I know you recently got a procedure done, and I hope that you are doing well, and you know, my thoughts and prayers and the best wishes are sent out your way. Of course, you are a lovely woman and I adore you, so I hope you have a wonderful day. But I just randomly, she popped into my mind. So thank you so very much to everyone for, you know, watching and liking and subscribing. I truly can't thank you guys enough. You're all wonderful and so very supportive. I actually did want to take a moment though to tell you guys who I have been watching. So of course I've been watching the Museum Stitcher. She's my Stitchy twin, as we've established. I know my bangs have gone up for the summer, but they'll be back, okay, as soon as fall hits, or maybe even sooner, who knows. The next person is Tiny House Stitcher. I love her. She just recently posted a video, so I wanted to start including things that I've recently watched, and I just finished watching her video. The Kitschy Stitcher, I think that is her name. It's definitely her name on Instagram, I believe. She's having a Mirabilia retreat, so if you love Miras, definitely fancy ladies, anything like that, check her out, enroll in her retreat. It sounds like it's going to be amazing, and it also sounds like okay, sorry about that cut. My phone randomly stopped recording. So anywho, I think that the lady who writes Mirabilias, I don't know if her name is Mirabilia. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Nora Corbett. Oh my gosh, it just popped in my head. She is actually going to the retreat. So that will be amazing if you are someone who loves her designs. So definitely check her out. C Zook Stitches or Stitch. I think C Zook Stitches. Anyways, her YouTube channel, I love her. She actually does overviews of different magazines and is a new stitcher. Super, super like love that because it gives me insight on do I actually want to subscribe to that? Do I need that? You know, and it gives me an idea if I want to head out to the Barnes & Noble and pick up that magazine or whatever. So really love her. And then of course I have been watching the Curious Crafters. I believe their channel name is actually We Are Curious Crafters, but I'm going to shorten it to Curious Crafters while I'm speaking about them. It's two sisters, and I know I've mentioned them before, but I really just adore them. I love their relationship. My sister and I are pretty close. We don't see each other as much as I would like, and she's actually moving, but I love her, and that's always just like their relationship reminds me of hers and I for some reason. But I love watching them. And then Brenda and the Cereal Starter, of course, we all watch them, but they're finally back from all the cross-stitching madness that is StitchCon and Stitch Camp, I believe is the other one that they just went to, and they always have the most beautiful projects. Oh man, it's bad for my pocketbook. I'm telling you guys, I need to stop. I can't. I'm out of control, as always. So those are some of the people I've been watching. Someone else I also love is Mama Loves You GB. I think we all love her. She is just, gosh, she just seems so wonderful. Like such a sweet human. So I've really been enjoying all their videos, and I try to keep up on all the people I subscribe to, but you know, only so many hours in a day. But those are the people I've been watching while I've been stitching this past couple weeks. So thanks again, everyone. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. But have a great week. Bye.